The galactic empire of Orcs had expanded across 900 systems, subjugated over 60 intelligent species, and obliterated those who refused. They believed themselves invincible gods, cloaked in metal and pride. When the Terran Republic sent their first long-range scout ship through Sector Vortex 13, the Orcs Empire intercepted it instantly. The Terran pilot was polite, curious, even offered information in exchange for peaceful passage. The Orcs flagship Dominion of Order responded with plasma torpedoes. The pilot, Lieutenant Gabriel Ruiz, ejected moments before the ship disintegrated. His last transmission, bouncing across quantum relays, was simple. Ran into some angry metal birds. They don't like visitors. By the time the message reached Earth, the Orcs had already mobilized their invasion fleet. High Admiral Sithrix of the Orcs Empire stood aboard his obsidian throne bridge, gazing at the swarm of Terran ships entering the sector. He wore his traditional crown of neural spikes, and his four eyes glowed with cybernetic arrogance. "They dare send that as a fleet," he sneered. In truth, the Terran response force numbered barely 200 ships. Small, diverse, chaotic-looking, like an armada built from junkyards. Sithrix's own fleet was composed of 5,000 Oryx Dread cruisers, perfectly symmetrical, mirror-polished, aligned like an artist's brushstrokes in orbit above the disputed star system. Sithrix opened a channel. "Humans, you stand before the full might of the Oryx Empire. You have trespassed. Prepare to surrender your vessels and genetic archives. Resistance will be met with extinction." There was a pause. Then, on every open frequency, a burst of static and a sound no Oryx had heard in 1,000 years. Laughter. Not nervous laughter. Not panicked, desperate giggling. Mocking, howling, cackling laughter. Captain Joe Rivers of the Terran ship Laugh Track leaned into the mic. "Oh my God, is that your real fleet formation? Are those monolithic dreadnoughts in straight lines?" Another voice chimed in. "Do they know how easy it is to aim a gravity well at that cluster? You're basically gift-wrapped." More laughter. Oryx tactical officers shifted in confusion. "Why are they not afraid?" One whispered. Sithrix snarled. "This is psychological defiance. Begin plasma barrage." The Dominion of Order opened fire. Dozens of ships followed. Plasma bolts surged forward like liquid suns. And then, the Terran fleet vanished. No explosion. No debris. Just gone. Sithrix blinked. Cloaking? No. Dimensional fold. Before he could finish the thought, his fleet began dying. One by one, Oryx Dread cruisers imploded. Not from outside attacks, but from inside. Reactor cores destabilized. Engines overheated. Command bridges melted like butter. Onboard fire suppression systems triggered only to spray highly flammable foam. AI networks began laughing, mimicking human voices, overloading circuits. On the Dominion of Order, the lights dimmed. Sithrix stared at the central command core. A message began printing across every screen in glowing white letters. "Nice ships. Poor cybersecurity." Another line blinked in. "We don't build fleets to be pretty. We build them to be clever." Then, across every Oryx ship, came a final line of text. "Never bring a parade to a knife fight." Far away, aboard the Terran mobile command vessel Unfunny Joke, Admiral Valland sipped coffee and watched the Oryx fleet implode on the hologrid. "Any losses?" "The AI Banter 7 responded cheerfully. "Nope. In fact, none of our ships even had to engage in actual combat. They uploaded over 4,000 malicious memes, satire packets, and logic paradoxes into the Oryx networks. All systems collapsed within 6 minutes." Valland smiled. "That's what happens when you try to scare humans with ships. We don't just build bigger guns, we build smarter ones." The Galactic Council met in emergency session the following week. Panic spread. The Orcs Empire, feared for centuries, was effectively disabled by a species they'd never considered a threat. The Council replayed the Terran response over and over. Laughter. Code. Collapse. In a quiet moment, a Xentari diplomat turned to his counterpart and whispered, "Why didn't the humans just attack outright?" The other diplomat, an old Kravari, replied, "Because they don't fight for glory. They fight to win and then make sure you know why you lost." And so, it was recorded in galactic archives. First contact with Terrans. We roared. They laughed. Final outcome. We no longer roar.